guys want to get fucked? Welcome, everybody, to episode 15 of Flavourful Reviews. Look at that. We've hit 15. We're getting up there in age. Getting up there.
Old ass man.
I know. My back hurts.
Jeez.
My nipples are leaking. That happens when you're old, right? Yeah.
I think there's some people.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
All right, so today is a big day in terms of comics.
It's always a big day.
We're continuing on with the DC 52.
New 52.
And Ultimate Comics is starting to relaunch their stuff.
Well, I think all the number ones are out now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
think there's any other Ultimate titles.
Yeah,
coming
it
out.
started off with Ultimate X-Men. Here we go. So, Ultimate X-Men, written by Nick Spencer, drawn by Paco Medina. What do you guys think of this?
Kind of boring.
Oh, Nick's falling asleep just thinking about it.
I almost fell asleep for like the first 3/4 of that book. It was way too much exposition.
Even for a first issue, it's pretty boring.
But, I mean, they did kind of... There was a part where Jean Grey, she's at a house, and then she's like, hey, where's the mutant daughter? She's going to recruit her, and they just, like, shoot her.
Even
in the head.
that, I was kind of like,
yes.
really?
That just kind of felt like they tried to set the tone for the book and where this arc's going to go.
That was metal.
It wasn't bad, but like the rest of that book, it was just like, I get it. Like the whole premise behind this is mutants. There's no actual genetic variation or mutation. It's all done in a lab.
Science.
It's a virus, as they describe it.
So nobody feels special, and they're all being hunted down, to eradicate.
Do you think they're gonna have like a create your own mutant like kid box set that you can buy?
Yeah,
and then it's
Hulk
like
arm, Cyclops' visor.
That'd be sick.
Wolverine claws.
Yeah. That
That'd
come
be
with the
awesome.
Hulk arms. That'd be great.
Man, imagine if Hulk had adamantium bones.
It'd be over.
Well,
And
The world is done.
it'll be over. All right, so we need to get these genetic mutation kits.
Yeah.
Make them for children.
Gene core.
It'd be like that Dr. Wacky's gross thing where you eat stuff. I don't know.
I don't
You remember
remember
that
what-
shit?
No.
I'll look it up. Put it in the description.
Cool.
So Katie Pride, she becomes like a terrorist. Katie
Yeah.
Pride.
There's like a little aside where she's kind of talking about what's going on in the past, and she goes, "Yeah, this is a story of how I become the world's biggest terrorist."
So I'm excited.
Pretty
about
much
that.
the only interesting thing in this entire book.
Yeah. Well, that and the child being shot in the face. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I felt this book tried to pull things in too many different directions. Too many different characters and scenes and different situations. Like, you could have saved some of these for another issue.
None of it interesting.
Although, if you haven't been following a lot of the Ultimate world, it'd be kind of confusing. Like, Wolverine's dead, Cyclops is dead, Magneto's dead. And I was
Ultimatum
like,
killed everyone.
I was
Yeah.
like, what's happening? It was
Pretty
really
much.
weird. I haven't been following it, and I was like, what the
I
fuck?
followed enough of it. That
Yeah.
I don't know, like from what I followed in the Ultimate Universe, like the part with Peter Parker before he died and Kitty
Yeah.
Pryde and all them. That stuff was cool. So I'm
I
kind
guess.
of interested to read Ultimate X-Men for that stuff. But like, hopefully that's the arc it follows and not all this other
Yeah.
bullshit
Yeah.
that I was just so bored with.
Yeah, I don't know. So far, the Marvel relaunch, not as good as the DC one.
Well, they've only had 4 books.
Yeah, they have.
They
a
gotta
little
step up the
more.
game. Hey, man, DC's 4 books. You could pick any 4 books, and it's probably better than the Ultimate. Any 4 books.
We'll keep that to the end.
Anyways,
I'll bet you on that.
So, Batman, number 1. This is not to be confused with Dark Knight, Batman and Robin,
Detective
or
Comics.
Detective Comics,
Yeah.
or fucking every other
Batwing,
Bat.
even
yeah.
though-
Batgirl, if anyone could possibly
Yeah.
confuse the
So
two.
this one's written by Scott Snyder and drawn by
Snyder.
Greg Capullo. Greg Capullo's stuff is pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah.
His stuff's all right.
It's not muddled.
It's a little cartoony,
Yeah.
I find.
But that's cool.
But it reminds me of the Batman anime series.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I really liked about this comic as a whole. It just feels like genuine, just classic, essential Batman stuff.
Mhm. Although Batman did look like Superman with the big chin and stuff, so I was like, what?
I think
It's an
almost every
I guess.
male character in that comic looked a bit
Yeah,
like
that is
Superman.
true. That is true.
Especially the mayor. That mayor is buff. What the hell?
Yo, he's gonna take down the city.
Yeah, he's like Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he stepped away from the commentating table. And, he got in the ring, put his body on the line.
Or I guess like Mike
Gotham
Haggard
Heroes.
too. Yeah, he's Mike Haggard.
But like the story in this is really well put together. Because I mean,
Snyder knows how to write a story.
they're trying to take people who haven't maybe read a Batman story, but you kind of know who the villains are, and you kind of know who who Robin is and shit like that. And they did a good job at the beginning of like Batman's fighting all of them and be like, oh, here's Mr. Freeze. He freezes shit. It's Killer Croc. Doesn't he look ugly and shit? Yeah. And then I don't know.
No, yeah, totally. I understand. Although Scott Snyder's stuff, like we talked about this before with Gates of Gotham, how it was all about gentrifying the city and stuff, and how American Vampire, the beginning was about gentrifying the city, and now this one's about gentrifying the city.
Yeah.
I think Scott
It's a
Snyder
big issue
he's
for him.
obsessed.
I think
with
he's obsessed
gentrification.
with gentrification. He's like lives next to a Starbucks.
He's like, I gotta fucking
He's writing a
hipsters
thesis
are
for his
everywhere.
Like I don't know, Scott Snyder, man, you got to write about something.
He's trying to
else.
write a thesis for his comics.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so, man. He just loves that stuff.
Yeah.
He wants to revitalize every city in the world. Just raw.
And then fill them with bat caves.
Yeah, and this book also did a good job of setting up the backstory if you weren't too familiar with it. Like in one panel, he just describes the entire history of like Robins.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, that's
All the
pretty
Robins all together.
This worked out.
No like giant like dialogue needed to like
Yeah.
just ham it all up. And like, no,
It was good.
here's all the Robins.
good.
They all cool.
I got this contact lens that connects me to the Batcave. I'm just gonna tap into it now. Oh yeah, Damian Wayne. He's back. He's Robin.
my son. How did I forget that?
I forgot. When I was trapped in time, I didn't know what was happening.
I guess.
But it was cool.
I
liked
think
that.
the only thing I was disappointed was at the beginning. There's this awesome, surprising scene with Batman and the Joker
Yeah.
fighting side by side, and then it doesn't turn out to be what it seems.
Yeah.
And it's still awesome,
Doesn't-
but man, I would have loved to see that. Just how they explain that. Just
Yeah,
Batman and
It's like
Joker
when
teaming up.
Bowser teamed up with Mario in Super Mario RPG.
I know,
It's
that
crazy.
blew my mind.
Oh, shit.
Blew my mind. Speaking of blowing my mind, Wonder Woman, written by Brian Azzarello and drawn by Cliff Chang. Oh my god, this book was so good. What?
It's pretty good.
What?
What?
This book. It
I said
starts
it's
off
pretty good.
It starts off with decapitating horses. They just decapitate
Yeah.
some horse, and then they turn into minotaurs.
That was probably
I
the
was
most
like,
metalist thing I've seen this whole week.
I guess you could say this is like the exact opposite of Ultimate Comics. Very little exposition,
so good.
a lot of action.
See, but the exposition that was in it was like so badass because like you find out that Zeus impregnated some chick and she's like fuck, and then it's like
Yeah, I just kind of compared it. It's the story of Jesus mixed with Children of Men in the movie because all these people are going to try and take out this baby.
oh, it's gonna be so good. I mean, what Hermes was there and he's like dying.
Yeah.
No, it was it was Hermes.
Yeah.
And then the
Her
sun
name
god.
is Zola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the sun god was there, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's like a playboy pimp, and
Yeah.
he's like, yo, I live on the world.
I am God. No.
Oh, so good. I don't know. Yeah,
I didn't share that amount of enthusiasm.
I love
for it.
this book.
The one thing I loved about this book is that they didn't need to just like begin the book with Wonder Woman
Yeah.
and just like in the middle of something. She doesn't even appear until like halfway through the
Yeah,
book
like a
almost.
third to halfway through.
But the way she appeared or the way they introduce her and how she acts through that point on just feels natural and just
It's true.
not. It's interesting. It's cool.
Ooh.
It's like y'all know who Wonder Woman is.
It's like they give you the
She fights
character
people.
without like force feeding it to you.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'll agree with that. But
So good.
it's good. Like it's not bad.
I'm
just,
so excited
I don't know,
for
that
what's
excited.
gonna come from it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Action pretty visceral too, which is pretty
Fucking
cool.
decapitating horses. That's right.
Wonder Woman throws like a sword and it cuts a guy's arm.
Fantastic.
In motion.
Wonder Woman, give me a call. I want to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Get
You
in line.
Yeah. Find Superman, I guess.
I don't know. Ultimately, I think this is kind of
I
like.
was thinking just most nerds, but yeah, Superman would probably get first dibs. Probably.
I was gonna say ultimately, I think this is just a book for the art. I'm not a huge Brian Azzarello fan. Stuff I've read, I'm pretty bored.
I haven't
don't really
read
care
enough
about.
of his stuff to really make a decision on that.
I make
either way.
snap decisions based on when I read. Like, yo, fuck him, it's
True.
over.
True.
One
All
bad
right.
thing, this is over. He's done. He's dead to me.
So, based on these three books, would you guys recommend? I recommend Wonder Woman.
Batman.
Batman, I want to say X-Men in hopes
Nah.
that they're not going to do. The exposition is out of the way. I think it could be an interesting story.
Maybe.
Just based on everybody being like, fuck, we're not special.
I guess
The kitty-
maybe.
were failed experiments essentially.
The Kitty Pryde thing is a hook regardless of what you thought about the rest of the comic, and it did interest me.
I'm gonna
I do
read
wanna
number
see
2
what
to
happens
see
next.
where they take it, but
Wonder Woman. Don't worry about it.
I'm interested in Wonder Woman. I do.
Is there anything else this week you guys are interested in?
Red Wing 3 comes out.
Ooh, Red Wing 3.
Daredevil 4?
Daredevil 4. Other than that, I don't know.
It's like, man, 1
Get
week
more,
after Daredevil
get some more of
3.
your relaunch stuff. Relaunch
Yeah.
stuff is good.
I think I saw a third printing variant of Justice League number 1.
Something
You
like
haven't
that.
got
Something
that.
ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
But switching gears a little bit, have any of you seen the canceled Avengers game?
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
That
Everybody,
game looked great.
look that up. It's a first-person superhero game, and it looks
From like
amazing.
the perspective of Iron Man
And Hulk.
Well, yeah,
And it
first
looked-
person. Yeah.
The one I saw was just Iron Man.
Well, it's everybody.
Oh, cool.
I only saw it
Oh.
was Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man. And it
Everybody, look this up. It's so good. And this is the kind of games we want. I mean, like the Batman game and games
which
like
is
this.
really good, but
Yeah. So
I would have played that.
Yeah.
I
So
would've-
THQ, come on, stop being dicks.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. But yeah, so that's the end of this week.
Next week there'll be another.
Yeah, it's the last week of the relaunch, isn't it?
No, there's like Flash number 1 comes out next week. All Star Western.
No, but that's the last week, right?
Oh, I thought you meant this week.
Next week, though? Last
next week I think is the
We'll see.
But then I think they're doing part 2 in like November.
Yeah.
They're relaunching.
They've
it.
already decided some books are getting the cut.
Yeah. So that's I'm excited. So everybody, subscribe to Stadium Comics YouTube page. Get your pull list up to date so you can get all these sweet ass books. And make sure that you dream about me tonight.
Listen to our podcast.
Yeah, we got a podcast.
While you sleep.
Yeah, while you sleep.
Put our sweet voices will lull you to sleep.
Yeah. So on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Flavorful sauce.